Go turn up mine.
Last week was freaking hilarious.
And this week's going to be freaking hilarious as well, as we're on for week 16 of the NFL pregame kickoff show, brought to you by 3 podcasts that we'll get to momentarily talking about. So, hello everyone, I am Will, and from the Between the Benches, JD, we have Dom. Dom, hello.
Hello. Good
From
morning.
Talk Show U, a man on the street, on the road again, Josh Connett. Josh, hello.
On the road
What's up,
again.
everybody?
My
Can't see myself, can't see anybody, but I'm here.
my co-host on the Play Extra podcast, and he has his own podcast, the Personal Foul Podcast. We got Colin. Colin, hello.
What's up, baby?
And well, let's go right into this. So the Browns today are going to be playing without most, if not all, their wide receivers. They have one active wide receiver that was on the roster, Marvin Hall. They are expected to play without Jarvis Landry, Devontae Peoples-Jones, and Rashad Higgins. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you guys think this is fair at all for Cleveland having to, this is a very late scratch. Whoa.
There's your problem. Is it okay for them? Yes. Yeah, we put Denver out to be onslaughted, so why not the Browns? It's very simple. It's very fair when the Broncos got tossed out there with the freaking fifth string quarterback, some guy off the street. Hey, you play wide out now, but yeah, you're gonna play quarterback this week. Yeah, it's very fair. Sorry to tell you, they got 2 running backs. One could probably play wide receiver. They're fine. They're playing the Giants. They should get a win. No offense, Josh. Tough crap.
The Browns are playing the Jets.
That's right. That was
The
last
Jets.
week. Excuse me. Everyone's
I
played with
didn't
this
want to
crap.
correct you because I didn't know.
Everyone's played this crap all season. Steelers playing on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and playing every day of the week this season. Denver having their situation. Tennessee, getting their schedule messed around. They had like one practice, and yeah, you're playing the Bills. So it's very fair. It stinks that, this is the situation, but you got to get these games in. And unless they want to forfeit, or if you want to play a game on Wednesday or something, this is what's going to happen. So pick your poison. You want to get paid still. This is how it's going to have to work. And we all knew this going into the season. So, and if the Denver situation doesn't make this one not fair, I don't know what does.
Yeah, they kind of threw fair out the window when they decided to give the Ravens as much as they wanted to postpone those games like 5 times, and yet just throw Denver right to the Wolves with no quarterbacks, and maybe one of the most disgusting NFL games I've ever seen. So they threw that fairness thing right out the window a while ago. It is what it is at this point. I mean, like, it sucks. And the Ravens thing left a pretty bad taste in my mouth about all that. But like I said, whatever. They threw that out the window, the whole fair talk. So I don't care about judging it anymore. But it's just an unfortunate situation to every team that's had to go through it. It really is. But what are you going to do? We're getting to the end of the season. You can't just postpone games now, I feel like. So Cleveland just needs to look ahead to the playoffs. That's it. They're in the playoffs. They're going to stay in the playoffs.
The problem is, though, this is a big game for the Browns. I mean, I get it.
It is. Oh, yeah.
But we all saw what the Jets did the Rams last week, and the Jets have, messed around all season with close games. So it's about time. They won one, so who says they don't do it again against a depleted Browns team? So, again, is it fair? Sure, it's not, because they're missing all their receivers and stuff. I get it. Sure, it's not fair. But it's a perfect situation. You look at the Broncos, it's very fair. They had no quarterbacks. They couldn't push it back a day so they can possibly get one of those quarterbacks cleared. Yeah, no, or push it back to a Tuesday like they did every other game this year.
Yep.
Sorry, Denver, you got to deal with it. So, sorry, Browns, you got to deal with it. Again, my team's dealt with it, so I'm not even like here being like, screw the Browns. No, every team's dealt with it this season in different ways. Pittsburgh playing on freaking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, stuff like that. Denver getting tossed out to the Wolves. Tennessee playing on one day of practice. So every team's dealt with this season. It is what it is. You have to deal with it. It's been a really weird season. But if it really wasn't a weird season, you probably wouldn't have a season at all. So you got to take the losses, and see if you can scratch out a win against the Jets.
I don't want to beat a dead horse or anything. Oh, wow. I can see everybody now. I don't want to beat a dead horse or anything. But I completely agree with both of them. It's unfortunate that it has to happen, but it's happened to multiple other teams now at this point. So the NFL doesn't have a choice, in my opinion. So keep the games going.
So as we mentioned before, the Broncos play with no quarterbacks. Yesterday, the Detroit Lions play with no coaches, basically, and now Cleveland plays without their top 3 wide receivers.
Yeah, and for anyone thinking that conversation's like legit, like, they don't need coaches. Yeah, you need coaches and you need your franchise quarterback. So we also had that onslaught went for
Yeah.
Detroit. Yikes.
And let's keep the conversation going with Denver. So as coaching news comes around, Vic Fangio is expected to be the Broncos head coach going into 2021 with the amount of injuries that have happened on both sides of the ball, including the likes of Von Miller, who was hurt basically training for the Titans game week 1. They lost Cortland Sutton week 2 in Pittsburgh, and just the injuries just kept on piling up. Do you think, he deserves another chance? I mean, it's kind of weird in Denver. They have 4 straight losing seasons in a row, and they've never had that in their franchise history.
Well, to be fair, as you just mentioned all the injuries, Drew Lock also missed like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Not saying he's a franchise guy, but John Elway also hasn't drafted a franchise quarterback, so there's that. They might have some plans in the offseason here, revamp a healthy team, and they've played tough for them, to be fair. There's been games where it's like they're in games like Pittsburgh with the third-string quarterback. They're in that game the whole time. Possible chance to win it down at the end there. They've been in a lot of games. You look at their schedule. They've been in a lot of games. I get there's some in there that are like, yikes. But they were in that Chiefs game a few weeks ago, like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So he deserves to keep his job. The thing is, you can't just fire coaches to fire coaches. Sure, they're losing, fine. Not all of it's on him. You just name the lineup. Look at San Fran right now battling it out with all the injuries. So they're playing hard for the guy, and it's not his fault. The quarterback situation's awful there. So you got to have some stability because no one's going to go to a team that has no stability. So you got to keep the guy around if he's not doing an awful job, and it's not all his fault. So you got to tip the cap to the guy that's keeping a team somewhat relevant with all the injuries, especially big ones. A.J. Boye, Cortland Sutton, as you mentioned. I think Jarrell Casey's hurt. So the list goes on and on. You can really look up and down this Broncos roster. It's depleted just like San Fran. So
Josh, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. I completely agree with Colton. I just think that this team has been playing really well and at least been in a couple of games, huge games really against huge teams that Colton pointed out of the Chiefs and the Steelers. So I don't think it's time for the fire the coach like the Browns do every single year. I think the Browns finally found their coach in Stefanski, so hopefully they keep with him and keep that thing going. But I don't like when they just fire coaches just to, like Colton said, I guess, to backpack off again, just to fire coaches. It just doesn't make sense. You got to build something and continue to build it in order to make something. You can't just keep retrying every single season. So I hope that they keep him and give him another shot next year, hopefully with a better, less injury team.
Okay.
I hate you, Anthony. I hate you.
Josh just brings the entertainment every single week, okay?
Get out of here. That's fantastic. I can't believe we just witnessed that.
That's my brother-in-law, Anthony, bringing a chicken over to my shoulder. What a guy.
That was fantastic. Oh, my gosh.
I just keep bringing distractions. I apologize. But,
no, you bring the
that one was
entertainment
important.
value, okay?
That was great. That was worth it.
Let's move over to DC as Dwayne Haskins' days as a Washington football team quarterback are very limited. He might be getting the start today as the quarterbacks, no one knows who's going to be starting for Washington today if Alex Smith's calf does in fact hold up. Where do you guys end up seeing Haskins? Because Washington's already come out and said that they're bringing back Alex Smith again next year, and they're going to be drafting a franchise quarterback as Smith's just the placeholder for the very moment.
I have no idea where Haskins ends up. I have no idea. He hasn't proven anything to me. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. There's going to be more options out on the table. Probably Jimmy G, we've talked about, will. Possibly one of those cuts in San Fran. Jameis Winston's on the market again. And all, most likely. And then you got the draft class here. Sam Darnold's on the market. Carson Wentz possibly on the market, or Jalen Hurts on the market. Those are more valuable options than Dwayne Haskins. So I've seen more out of those guys than I have Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins loves partying after a win that he did nothing in yet again. Talks about his stats and the loss to the Ravens.
You mean he went to the
Dude.
strip club? He wasn't really partying. He went out like
well, to
Lou
be fair, from what
and James
what I
Harden.
read, he had a private thing at his house. He brought people in, so that makes it all okay now. So there's that. But I don't know, man. I don't think there's anything out there. See what you guys think on it. I don't think there's plenty more fish out there, especially with, 3 or 4 quarterbacks in this draft alone than Darnold, Winston, Jimmy G. Yeah, there's plenty more options. I'd rather not kick the Dwayne Haskins tires.
So
Yeah.
I'm very
Go ahead.
glad they ripped his captainship off of him because I was pretty disgusted to see that, when that came out. Like, dude, what he did already this season, then this, like, take your job seriously, that's it. I don't think he's going to have a starting job or at least sign a contract for a starting job after this. I think it's only going to be backup money, backup role for him after this. I think he's going to kind of fade out, we saw that happen many times. I mean, like, there's Colt McCoy, look what happened to him. He turned into a career backup. I can easily see that happening to Dwayne Haskins.
I don't know. I've seen more out of Colt McCoy than Dwayne Haskins, so there's a reason why.
Yeah.
He's been
I wanted to-
that long.
I wanted to point out that I just don't like Dwayne Haskins on or off the field. I mean, I just don't think that he's a great quarterback or could be a great quarterback. I haven't seen that great potential on the field, and off the field, he just seems like not the greatest decision maker, if that makes sense. So I just don't know. Kind of like Colton said, there's a ton of quarterbacks in the league that they could go for, but also this draft, there's 3 or 4 quarterbacks they could easily go for as well if they get a top 10 pick. So we'll see where those picks end up. But
It's not even that. Like, dude, Haskins is weird. Like, there's times when he's sitting there on the sideline. I think Alex Smith got knocked down on the sideline, and you see freaking what's his name come running in to pick him up. It's like, I don't think he's a bad. It's just like he's a kid still. You can tell he's acting like a kid still. That's the problem.
okay.
He's definitely not mature. That's for sure.
Nah, absolutely not. He might not be in the right situation, even though I do think Ron Rivera is the right guy. But again, as I've said with the Jets, it's not Rivera's guy. So clearly he brought in his own guy in Kyle Allen and Alex Smith as he picked out. So, well, Alex Smith was already there, excuse me. But it's just he brought in his own guy on Kyle Allen, which already tells you enough. They didn't feel like dealing with Dwayne Haskins. I don't know. I think it's not his guy. He's not interested in the fact that he's making these mistakes, as a kid and acting like a kid with his money. He's not James Harden. You can't go out there, mess around, do this stuff, and then out here come out and throw 4 touchdowns kind of thing. Then we kind of let it slide. No. He's not doing any of that. He's awful. He's not good. So, bye-bye. Hasta la vista, baby.
I'm not sure how you guys feel on this, but I just say there's not really like the past 10 years with Ohio State quarterbacks coming out, they just don't produce, which is why I'm kind of scared for Justin Fields because I think he just might fall into the same route like Haskins. You had Braxton Miller, but he came out as a wide receiver and he did play, a couple of seasons in Houston. I just don't. I don't see like Ohio State quarterbacks as like very good quarterback school. I say they're really good in college. Like Haskins proved he was really good in college. So did Braxton Miller.
Well, it's like the conversation you have with a lot of these quarterbacks out of small schools. Figure we all were in love with what's his name in the draft, Sam Darnold. But I was in love with Josh Allen the whole time. Everyone's talking about the completion percentage with Josh Allen. Josh, you couldn't name me one receiver at Wyoming, not one. My man played with Michael Pittman, Juju Smith-Schuster. And you can probably name another 2 guys at USC, where what's his name didn't play with anyone at Wyoming. And look at his numbers.
I don't even know where Wyoming is. The school Wyoming is located.
They literally have gone up every single season.
Wyoming
Completion percentage.
most likely.
Like, you cannot I don't know, man. I do like other quarterbacks. I do think Justin Fields could be very good, but he's playing with top talent. I thought Dwayne Haskins was going to be very good. I thought he threw the ball really, really well. I saw him torch really good Michigan defense. I'm like, this kid's going to be good in the league. I get he's not as mobile, but he can move. He's not freaking stone feet back there. But, yeah, I was wrong. My man does not look good at all. And, yeah, so – and I'm not big on Justin Fields. I think it's clearly Trevor Lawrence, and I like Zach Wilson on BYU as my top 2 guys. I like Zach Wilson's able to – move around. Kind of reminds me of Kyler Murray. Got the little pizzazz to him. So
I
don't know.
Did you see the whole NFC scout report about him or something like that? about Wilson?
No.
No.
Oh, so there's apparently an NFC scout, right? They didn't say who exactly or from where, but gave Zach Wilson, just ripped him apart in this scouting report. Like, it was ugly. I think I sent it to Will, but maybe I didn't. If I could find it, give me 1 sec. I mean, it was not pretty. It was
Well, all right, sure,
brutal.
sure. I mean, people rip apart other guys all the time, so
no. This was
people
like,
wrong. All right,
this
come
was
on,
down
everyone.
to the roots.
Great, everyone passed on DK Metcalf and ripped DK Metcalf apart because it was 3-cone drill. Now look at DK Metcalf, he's one of the top 5 receivers in the league. So
Oh,
you can't read all
here you
that
go.
crap.
Anonymous NFC scout said he has character concerns. Rich kid who is an entitled brat. Uncle owns JetBlue. Parents are a pain. Not a leader. Selfish, and he's a know-it-all. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's
Like,
great. Yeah, that's
just went
great.
at
We-
him, dude.
who cares? We all heard this stuff about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's a racist. It's that and the other. So, and how's that worked out? So who cares? You can't read all that. That's clearly a pissed off scout who might
yeah.
know the family or something. So you can't listen to all that crap. You can't.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that it's probably a scout that knows the family or something and has like some personal vendetta against them, because that just doesn't sound like
Some
you
voodoo
don't know
doll
that,
that
you don't
they
know
just
that from
stabbed.
just on the field stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
like,
you
stop.
know that because you've met the person outside of football, which
Yeah, like, stop.
really shouldn't
You-
be happening. So
You sound silly with stuff
Messed
like that.
up. Like,
Well,
That's
that's the
insane.
league. That's the
Yeah.
league, man. That's how it works. You always got stuff like that. People trying to ruin careers and stuff. How many times like we've seen people dig up tweets from freaking 8 years
my
ago? You know how
gosh.
I
long
love
that
doing
felt?
that, to be honest.
I like why?
Eddie,
What is
Eddie,
wrong with you?
listen, I dug up all the tweets from Eddie Lacy in the playoff game against the Cardinals in 2016, where it's just all about food. And he also was like,
See?
I can't.
See?
I'm
Will,
trying to
people
sneak
like
a
you
hot
are the
plate.
problem, Will.
No,
People
no.
like you are the problem.
Listen. How do
Alright?
you tweet that you want to sneak a hot plate on a plane because the airplane food sucks? Like, come on. Like, this is honestly
Bro, my man
hilarious.
wants to eat. Like we don't. Say
He
anything
doesn't
about
need to
Zeke
eat
sitting
anymore.
there.
He ate too much. He's not in the league anymore.
Hey man.
Listen, he could be Vince Wilfork for all I care. I think he could be a very good Vince Wilfork number 2. So let's go talk about, because there was 4 games that were played before this show. So what did we learn from Friday and Saturday's games? Like, what have you? What?
Well,
what?
the NFC playoff spots in shambles, so there's that. So Arizona just doesn't like winning, and yeah, Chicago has a great opening now. If they just don't blow it against Jacksonville today in somehow merry way, I know you want to see that, Will, but Chicago, man, Chicago's playing really good with Mitch right now, playing for his life, and there's that. So I do think Chicago ends up winning this last playoff spot, but we'll see. There's a lot of stuff to happen in the NFC. It's a whole disaster over there.
I learned that Miami is definitely serious about these playoffs. That's a fact. You know, they want
yeah, I
it.
don't think
And that Myles Gaskin makes a difference on that team.
I learned 2 different things. One was the Cardinals just, I don't know what it is about them, but I guess kind of what Colton said, I hate backpacking on them every time, but they obviously just don't like winning. Something's up with them to where they win great games and then they lose these games that just make you question what the heck and why are they even getting maybe a push to the playoffs.
Well, it's a young
it just-
team. They're also showing they're a young team. A young quarterback in Kyler making mistakes here and there.
Yeah, and he didn't
Kingsbury
have that great of a game either, I don't think.
No,
CJ Beathard had a better game than him.
Yeah, you're seeing what's his name step up. You're seeing the mistakes of Kingsbury, and they're missing Chandler Jones on the other side. So
Chandler
it's
Jones is a big loss too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a young team. You're seeing the mistakes of that. So I think they'll be fine in a few years. Will sorry for his little MVP talk. Oh gosh, we got this clown coming in. But
Yes, we got
Hello.
Alex in here.
we got this clown.
Hello.
coming in.
All right, guys. I apologize. I'm gonna look like hot garbage, so I'm breaking down boxes from Christmas. How is everybody?
We're all doing very well, Alex.
Jeez, so we
Awesome.
got 2 outside people. What the heck is wrong with all of you? Like what is
Yo,
wrong
chill,
with
Colton.
this guy? Like, what,
I mean, I have responsibilities, Colton. All right. For everyone that doesn't know me, I'm Alex Cuesta, Opinions Podcast Network, Sports Opinions Podcast. What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
I'm just gonna be over here cutting up boxes and just trying to piss Colton off. That's my main goal for coming on here, everybody.
Well,
Okay.
Alex did
I love
ask
that.
a question, and he did ask me if I could get him on here. So he said, Colin, with the chances the Steelers continue to suck, and you continue to make excuses for them sucking.
Well, to be fair, I really haven't made any excuses for them sucking, Alex. I guess you clearly haven't been listening to any of these shows. I said this team's a disaster right now offensively. They can't
Dick.
figure it out. And if they don't figure it out, they're a one-and-done team. I've made it.
Colton's been
excuses.
roasting them for the past few weeks, to be honest.
I mean, I've tried defending them, this whole season. Like, people could take this team seriously because they're very good. And now look at jackwagging, and I'm gonna take the hits. They don't look good offensively. The defense has a boatload of injuries. And Alex, why can't you mute yourself? No one wants to hear your boxes.
Of course you do. Come on now.
They're it is what it is, man. If they don't figure it out, they're a one-and-done team. It's very simple.
I just want to say during their 11-0 streak that they were on, I think it's 11-0, 3 straight now. 11-0 streak. I mean, I really liked what I was seeing from Big Ben in that offense. And then Colton, maybe you have an explanation of what happened, but I haven't seen it the last 3-4 weeks, really.
Well,
I don't know what happened.
The team's been very weird this whole season offensively. They blew the doors off the Titans in the first half. It's like, all right, this is going to be everyone's, the Steelers are going to lose to the Titans. They're playing a real team. Yeah, Steelers go in there and mollywop them in the first half. And I'm sitting there like, yes, sir. And then after that A.J. Brown catch, everything kind of changed. The momentum changed. They couldn't find themselves offensively. The same thing happened in the Ravens game. The offense was nowhere to be found in the first half. Then a light switch went on, and they kicked it up on the Ravens, and they won. And the offense has been hit and miss. They ran the ball early. They can't run it now, and they can't seem to find the run game. And Ben's making mistakes. Last week I think was his worst game of the season. He got receivers hit. He missed Claypool on a bunch of deep balls that could have been touchdowns or you never know, 30, 40-yard gains. That was his worst game of the season last week. The whole season's not on Ben, though. I think it's play calling, a lot of staying away from the run. They're getting scared of it. Ben throwing 52 times is not going to win you anything. You have to run the ball, and if they don't figure it out offensively the next few weeks, it's one and done. It's very simple. They're going to get bounced.
Now, Colton, what happened to them? They went to a lot of quick game. Wasn't Ben getting the ball out in like 2.1 seconds earlier in the year, and now it looks like he's holding on to the ball again?
Well, last week
he didn't, but is it a lot to do with the fact that Connor can't get going? Scott really isn't the guy they thought he'd be as a backup? Like, what the hell is going on? That our receivers just not getting the separation, or what is it? It doesn't seem that offense, like you said, not clicking the way it is. And then they killed fantasy for me because Ebron wasn't used and then he died. So I don't know what the hell happened there. That annoyed me.
Yeah, well, I think this team's just in shambles. They don't know what to do. That's the problem. They've never, to be honest, that's why I've always said, like, this team could beat Kansas City early on because they never played a full 60 minutes. And they usually play good against the good teams. So they've messed around with the bad teams. They squeaked away with some wins, and they didn't get that win against Washington. And that's where it's like, all right, we messed around this whole season, and this is where we're at now. We finally got the loss I've been waiting for. I knew they weren't going to go undefeated. But I didn't think this was what was going to happen. I thought they would, have one loss, and this is not what I expected. Their offense is in shambles, like I've said a bazillion times. It's not that the quick game was the problem. They couldn't run the ball. So they tried doing like a quick passing game, like short 5-yard passes to be that run game. But the problem is they're asking too much of the receivers. That's why Deontay Johnson has a boatload of drops. It's not that the kid's bad. He's very good. You saw it last week making tough catches because the kid works. He's very, very good. Steelers got a gem in him, and they're asking too much of him after the catch. Let him run his routes. He's very good. And if you do hit him in open space, let him do something after the catch then. Don't ask for a quick pass where he's already looking upfield before he catches the ball on where he's going to make a move because you can't throw the ball more than 5 yards. So I don't know. I like the way they moved the ball last week in the second half where they threw it down the field a little bit more. But to be fair, Ben missed some guys. He got guys killed because if you just watch the play with Juju fumbling that ball, Von Bell is creeping up to take away Juju. Chase Claypool fills that spot of Von Bell. That is literally a 40-yard pass at least. Could be a touchdown because have fun trying to tackle his big self. So Ben played bad last week. He went to Ebron in triple coverage that got him hurt when Claypool broke off on a corner route and he was wide open again. So Ben played bad last week. We'll see. They're playing a really good Colts team that seems to have it going right now. And they usually play good against good teams. People say they got mollywopped against Buffalo, But to be honest, they outplayed Buffalo in the first half. Their offense just didn't do anything.
I
So
know,
we'll see.
I know we're not to the picks yet, but Will told me right before we started that you did pick Indianapolis. Since I'm about to head out soon, I do need to know why.
Well, I picked them because I don't know how I could pick the Steelers at this moment in time, Josh.
Just because of the inconsistency with them.
It's just Josh. I have no idea what this team is, Josh.
Yeah.
If you're talking,
You know what the
early
Colts
on,
are, huh?
If you're talking early on in the season, yeah, if you're talking early on in the season, I have them beating the Colts. I do think the Colts are very, very beatable. And this, honestly, the Steelers should win this game. They're without both their tackles. The Steelers should feast on them. TJ Watt should have a game today. Highsmith, the pressure, they're getting Vince Williams back, which is huge. They should win this game. Will they? I don't know what offense shows up. I have no idea. They're playing a very, very good Colts defense. I have no idea. Will, give me the rest of what's going on. We don't need to talk about
Well,
this.
Colin, can I just get you to admit that Kansas City's better than Pittsburgh right now?
Kansas City's the best team in the NFL, Alex. Everyone
we're good here.
is
We're good now.
All right, so
Oh,
I mean, oh wow. Let's get to some injuries as I pull up this whole forum from Adam Schefter himself. But you know, as we mentioned, the Browns are going to be without their top receivers today. And also something to talk about, Mitchell Trubisky might be getting re-signed with Chicago if Chicago advances into the playoffs.
Wow.
Don't know how much or if he will even stay in Chicago.
There was definitely a point in this season we were all like, well, his time's it's over. He's going to be on another team.
you can't.
And then,
sign him.
here we
You
are.
cannot re-sign him.
Yeah, I don't like the re-signing of him at all, to be honest with you.
I do not either. I'm giving him a 1-year deal. I'm not giving
Why
him.
does Chicago loves guys like Rex Grossman, Kyle Orton, and Trubisky's right in that mold where it's just good, might lose you a few games, never going to win you a game, but I don't know what the hell they do.
I mean, they like Jay Cutler, so.
Well, Jay Cutler
Cutler's
was actually talented. The problem was that man just loved smoking cigs and just living his life after football. So
But
that
Jay
was his
Cutler's are
problem.
God in Chicago, so I'll never
Right,
talk
dude.
trash on Jay Cutler.
But yeah, I don't know. It's an awful idea. I don't think the Bears. To be honest, I think Matt Nagy's a really good coach. I really do. He's done a
Personally,
lot with
completely
that
agree.
crappy offense, and they missed out on an opportunity to win a Super Bowl because of Trubisky. So it's very.
I wouldn't say Trubisky. I would say, the kicker with the double doink.
Oh my gosh! Don't give me that. They're losing the next.
No,
round anyway.
they would have went and played the Rams, and then the Cowboys would have played the Saints. I mean, that could have changed up everything.
No, Will. It's not changing up anything when your quarterback's Trubisky. It's not changing a thing. The guy is not good at his job. You cannot re-sign him. We've seen this experiment for 4 years now. He's not good. He's not good. He's been the problem. No.
How much money is Trubisky going to be giving to David Montgomery for saving his career there? Because that's the only reason why Trubisky is playing well. Because they found the run game. Because Montgomery is running like a grown man there.
Oh, he's insane.
All right, but that brings back to my point. Trubisky is not the answer. It's just ownership.
Just because you have a running back of helping him out, that doesn't mean he's good. You need to get rid of him.
That doesn't mean he's good at all. That's not at all. The GM and the ownership doesn't want to admit they were wrong in picking Trubisky when they had Deshaun Watson sitting there. I get Mahomes. Mahomes was kind of a project. We knew he had the arm talent, this, that, and the other, but he wasn't as clear cut as Deshaun Watson. Yeah, that's a mistake. And both of those guys are going to be Hall of Famers probably at the end of their career if they stay healthy. Hope they both do. But Trubisky is not the guy. They made a mistake, and if they re-sign him, that's another mistake. So we'll see what Chicago does. They're not trying to admit they were wrong with this Trubisky pick, and it's wrong. It's by a lot. It's wrong. It's bad. Might be one of the worst trade-up picks to go get. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
So, not expected to play today. Keenan Allen, Terry, Scary, McLaurin, Christian McCaffrey expected to play. Antonio Gibson, Allen Robinson, Tyreek Hill, and Zeke. Those are really the big names I can pull out that are expected to be active. So, and that's about it. I'm
about to fake an injury real quick and head out on you guys. I'm gonna go talk with some fam and meet them up. So, I appreciate it.
All right, Josh. Hey, thank you for coming on, even though it was a half day for you.
I tore my ACL. I gotta go, boys.
Nice meeting you, Josh.
That's messed up.
Nice meeting you too, Alex. You want to meet Saquon at the hospital?
All right, have fun.
All right, can I say one thing?
Yes.
Josh said something about running backs and quarterbacks, and literally his quarterback's Daniel Jones and his running back is Saquon Barkley. So I'm just saying.
That's why he said he was pulling a Saquon and faking an injury so he doesn't have to play. So, quick question. Do we think Zeke is only playing because he's at risk of missing 1,000 yards for a year? And he probably just went to the Cowboys ownership and it was like, I'm running 50 times for the rest of both last 2 games. If they want to win, he needs to run.
I mean, I think it's already out of reach, their playoff chances. I think it's all gone.
I mean, it's the NFC East. Nothing is gone.
Nah, if they win,
Well,
they
if
win this game, they're in it.
If the Cowboys win and the Giants lose, Washington will basically have clinched the playoff spot. Because the Giants will be eliminated, the Eagles will be eliminated. I think that just sets it all in stone at that point.
Who's Washington play again today?
Carolina.
Ugh. And you know what? They can honestly win Carolina.
Oh, they could.
They very well can win.
They definitely can.
Especially with Haskins playing.
That's a solid 50-50 for me.
I want to talk about some.
I think Dallas is very much in it, Will. They're very much in it with a win today.
I want to welcome in all 8 viewers right now, depending on what platform you're on, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in. And, I wish Jake was on today because I actually put the segment back in here just for him, the delinquency.
This or that?
Yeah. No, not the this or that, the delinquent picks. So I got some betting. I have 2 bets in here, okay? So I won a grand total of $37 in DraftKings last week, so I'll read you my DraftKings lineup, but I also have a very kind of mean parlay right now. It's all in the 1 o'clock hour, so it's a do-or-die situation. So I got anytime touchdown scorers between Montgomery, Jonathan Taylor, Patrick Mahomes, Giovanni Bernard, and Mark Andrews, all scoring at 8,458 odds. Because I can see Mahomes running it in today. I generally think he could do that. And plus Jonathan Taylor getting a rushing touchdown, especially on the goal line. We ain't going to be seeing Phillip running it in. And, well, my DraftKings lineup, I got it at exactly $50,000. So, I got Mitchell Trubisky, Le'Veon Bell, David Montgomery, Kiki Cudi, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Reagor, Logan Thomas, Cooper Kupp, and the Washington football defense. All in there. That's my delinquent picks of the week. I'm not too sure,
Yeah,
Colton, if you got any delinquency going on with you, but I'm basically interested in seeing what you have.
Go ahead, Bolt.
Yeah, for me, I haven't even made my bets yet today, but I'm looking at it right now. For me, I got to look at this Chargers game. That's a very interesting number. Also, the Rams at 1.5. I mean, I wouldn't take that. I'd rather take the Rams to win because the Rams do own Seattle. So there's that. So I'm very interested in the Rams game. I do like the Eagles at -3 also. Do you think the Eagles get a win? I think their defense is pretty
Also, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Colton, but Dwayne Haskins is the starter today for the football club.
Well, there's that. So that also changes things. I also like the Jets +6 against the Browns. I do like the Jets. I picked them to cover that amazing number last week of 17 for a Lord knows what reason that was there. I knew the Rams weren't winning by 17. The Rams don't win games like that. You kidding me? So I gotta take another look at my bet for today. But right there, those are a few teams that I'm interested in. And Alex, please, for the love of God, just mute your mic when you're breaking boxes. Please, for the love of God. For the love of God, Will, mute him, please. I'm begging you.
But anyway, I live in the great state of New York, so they still frown upon sports betting. And I don't know if because DraftKings and FanDuel, I don't know if I'm eligible. I tried to go on not too long ago, and it told me to kick rocks. So,
Damn.
I wish I could participate in this because I would love to be a delinquent.
Jake's delinquency segment of the week that I have not had in, I think, a little over a month. And Jake just no-shows us. I don't know if you're looking at anything, Dom, for bet-wise, but you know what? I'm gonna read Jason's thing because he sent me this ridiculous parlay that I told him.
Jason already lost last night. It's okay.
Okay, well, let's read what he had.
Read it.
Dolphins -2 lost. Kansas City money line. Ravens money line. Jets +10. Seahawks -1. I said cash that out. Take out Seattle, and I think you might be doing okay there. And that's about it for that.
I don't like Seattle at all.
Yeah, Seattle scares me, especially against the Rams, because Sean McVay knows how to own the Rams, especially with how the Rams lost last week. I can honestly see the Rams offense just kind of turning it up against a 32nd ranked Seattle defense. And well, let's move into buy, sell, and hold. What are you guys buying into with the end of the season? Teams are trying to rev up their engines, make a very quick playoff chase, or even teams that are fighting for their draft stock. What are you buying into today? You know what? I'm going to start this out, okay? Because I'm repping them right now. I'm going to be buying into the Bears because the Bears control their destiny with the Cardinals' loss to the 49ers yesterday. All they have to do is win against Jacksonville today, and I believe they play Green Bay next week. And if they win out, they clinch the 7th seed in the NFC. They control their fate. That's all that they have right now. They control their fate with the Vikings now eliminated. There's really nothing else to play for.
For me, I'm making this very easy. I'm buying the winner of that game of Dallas and Philly. That's what I'm buying. I'm buying the winner of that. The winner of that, I think, has a chance to steamroll and go into the division and win it.
So what if they tie?
Please do not do that. They're not going to tie. Please do not do that. I'm taking the winner. I'm buying the winner of that game.
All right, so my buy is I'm going to buy the Cleveland Browns. Even though they're down today, I think they're going to beat the Jets, and if they can get their receivers back, Baker Mayfield has shown that he plays within himself this year. He doesn't try to do too much. His turnovers are down, and that defense is legit. Going in, I don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but I sure as hell think they're a spoiler team that they can end somebody's Super Bowl hopes. So I'm buying the Browns going into the end of the year.
I'm not too sure what you're buying into, Dom, or you're thinking very hard.
It's tough because I feel like a lot of the teams I'm thinking of are already like obvious ones, Man. I'm trying not to go with anything obvious here, but
Well, I'm going to sell off the Steelers kicking game because Boswell's out today, so there's that information that I will love to see. Lord, what is wrong? What is wrong with this world, man? Come on.
I don't know. If I was going to buy a team right now, it's kind of stupid because of how far ahead they are. But I guess the Packers, I think they win today. I think it's just they get to rest guys next week and they're in,
They are.
Today's going to be a tough game. It is against Tennessee.
It's going to be a snow-filled game, too.
I'm taking Tennessee in that game, by the way.
Well, I didn't know that.
I'm taking Tennessee in that game. It's going to be a run fest with what Green Bay cannot stop.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Tennessee. Thank you. Bring me my money.
I'm also still buying into my hot take that whoever wins the NFC East is going to steamroll their way to a Super Bowl. Just because that is this type of year. That's just this. It's 2020 is a stupid year where whoever comes in on the NFC East is going to get hot, and they're going to win it all.
Who invited this guy breaking boxes outside?
Hey, the Giants did it
why?
against the 2007 Patriots.
Please stop. We all know this isn't happening. Stop. All of you sound silly. The NFC East is going to get their doors kicked in the first round.
Listen, every team that's made the playoffs at under 500 has won a playoff game. Example:
Great,
Seattle.
They're not this year, Will.
Seattle.
They're not this year.
Seattle beat the Bounty Gate scandal. Saints, as you're throwing stuff all over the place. The Panthers beat Cardinals team, but I can't really consider that a win because Logan Thomas, the starting tight end, is the starting quarterback back in 2014, 2015 is now the starting tight end of the Washington Football Club at this point. So 2020 is the year that anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Stop it.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm on it, but it's a very good
They're
idea. As Josh comments, he thinks Alex is crazy with that as Alex now crashes out. But one thing I might have to sell, God, I have no idea. You know what? I'm going to sell off. Well, I don't want to sell off the Jets. They're not really in the playoff contention right now. But as Colton bought into the game, I'm going to buy out of the game. Whoever basically sells off is, we might see a whole different team next year. But Cowboys, Eagles, I think that might decipher, basically everything. Eagles lose. I think Peterson's out. I think, they just kind of revamp everything from the ground up.
Hi, Roseman.
Howie, everyone gets cut.
Right. here's a buy sell situation. I would totally be buying the Bears and selling the Cardinals. I mean, they go hand in hand right now. Whoever you buy, you're selling the other one at that point, or whoever you're selling, you're buying the other one because one of them are making it in, and the Bears' path seems a lot easier now that Cardinals are lost. So
Josh said he's going to sell the Cardinals, buy the Dolphins, hold Philly.
I'm holding on Pittsburgh. It's my last week. It's my
My
last week holding
apologies.
on.
My internet decided to tell me to go somewhere.
Yeah, and I think I need to tell you to go somewhere, you ding dong over there. But
That's
for
a
me,
great hot take. I don't want to hear it.
yeah, for me, I'm holding on the Steelers. My final week holding on them. If I don't see any promise offensively, I'm selling them, and I'll buy the house on them being a one and done team. So I'm holding on Pittsburgh last time doing it, and for my sell, I have to sell on the Giants. That ship sailed. It's over. And you know what? If I'm shocked, no one said they're buying it. Buying the Ravens. The Ravens are red hot. They got the schedule to get going.
Here's the thing. I'm not buying the Ravens. I was thinking about this too. I'm not going to buy the Ravens. I'm going to hold the Ravens because they win this week, right? I think that's a no-brainer. They win, okay? But then they need the Dolphins to lose next week, and they need to win next week. Now, I'm pretty sure the Dolphins play Buffalo next week. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So it's definitely possible for the Ravens. It is definitely possible. It's actually, I would say, favorable because I know the Ravens have.
Well, I wouldn't say that at all.
Who do they play next week?
I wouldn't say it's favorable at all because, to be honest, that 2 seed means nothing now, which you've all heard a bazillion times. Very annoyed with it. The 2 seed means nothing.
Yeah, that is true.
I see Buffalo sitting guys next week. If Buffalo wins Monday, they're going to sit guys. They're going to take that as their bye week going in the playoffs. So Miami has a legitimate shot, and if I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm rooting for the Bills to win Monday.
I don't know if anyone said it. I'm selling right now Arizona. They were a facade. That offense completely shit the bed, and they're showing a lot of holes. If Kyler isn't absolutely perfect every single game, they get blown out. And I know some of it's on Kyler's shoulders making mistakes, but for the most part, he's not getting much help there. That GM over there, they need to improve almost every single facet of that team in order to give him some help.
Well, to be fair, though, they have a big injury on their defense with no Chandler Jones. You know, that hurts not having a legit pass rusher. So.
Yeah, but look at your Steelers. Your Steelers has 2 or 3 pass rushers. So you guys have legit injuries on defense, but you still have TJ. You still have guys that fill it in. Good teams have that depth. Where the Steelers, they lost their few games. I make fun of the Steelers. They've lost their games because they have, 16 guys on injury, and maybe 8 of them are legitimate starters, a few stars, and they're still in a position to be a second seed. So it's good teams have depth, and right now Arizona is a team that is not bad, but they're not a good team yet. So I'm selling. I was hyped up on Arizona, but I'm selling them as a good team for now until they do more.
Yeah, it's a young team, a young head coach, and a young quarterback. You're seeing the struggles of them being young. Those are always huge parts, and you're seeing the struggles of the young guys.
Let's go into the start and sit. Fantasy championships are in full swing right now as I am dealing with Alvin Kamara in 3 leagues, one of which I own, 2 of which I do not own. So it's very difficult at this very point, but what are you guys going to be starting as, this is the last, for some leagues, the last week of championships?
Well, for me, to start off, easy start. David Montgomery, not a question against Jacksonville. Easy start. My man's going off the past few weeks, and ironically, I play him. Yeah, yikes. Not looking good for that league. But yeah, start David Montgomery, and if you don't, you're just playing silly and you're blind.
I cut David Montgomery in my league, and I still do not regret that.
And I have him, and the run he is making.
Man's put up 20 points in the past 5 weeks.
Listen. This is the league where I had Zeke, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Kamara. So I didn't really have any room.
You cut the wrong guy. You named Zeke first. He would have been gone first out of all those guys. You silly goose. Good job, Will.
So a surprising start that I'm going to throw up there. If you have a chance, start Jamison Crowder or the Jets. The Jets offense is going to be on the field a lot today. They're not going to win. But Darnold looks for Crowder for everything, and he's the one guy that really gets separation consistently. So I'm telling you, I've had Crowder in my lineup. He doesn't get less than 12 to 13 points a week when he's healthy, and he's healthy right now. So I would start Jamison Crowder. He's the only viable option on the Jets. So
I'm going to start Mitch against Jacksonville because I think that is just a very nonsense kind of idea. Because why not? Start Mitch
Big
against
money
the.
Mitch.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get any. I don't think he will have a bad game. There's no way he could have a bad game against Jacksonville. David Montgomery's going to carry him. They have Allen Robinson back. Why not run with Mitch? And also, why not just add this in here? Start Jalen Hurts because if he's available, do it. I know Colton's been thinking of that for the last 5 days, sleepless nights thinking about it.
Hey man, championship weekend. I'm out here deciding between an MVP candidate and Jalen Hurts. Yeah, there's that. But I'm rocking with Jalen Hurts over Josh Allen this week.
Giovanni Bernard's a guy you got to start. I mean, they're going against Houston, and Giovanni Bernard had a gigantic week last week. He had, I think, a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown last week. So you have to start him against Houston.
Dom, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to dispute that because I had Giovanni
Really?
Bernard, and I started him for a few weeks. Last week, I didn't start him, and I didn't regret it because the few weeks I did start him, when Mixon went down, he was nowhere to be found. And
Yeah.
even after Burrow went down, you would think they would lean on him. They didn't. I understand wanting to start him because of his big week, but if you look at his game logs after his big weeks,
Oh, I
you
know.
get 7 points out of him. And in a championship week, you can't get 7 points out of a guy. If you have a guy like Dobbins available, I'd start him 100% over a guy like Giovanni Bernard. But he's not, if you're looking at last week, he's not a bad pick. But from experience this year, God, I hate Giovanni Bernard. Or even Harris for the Patriots. He didn't have a great week, but he's 100 yards waiting to happen every single week. So
I mean, there has only been one. I just found this out. I didn't even know I could look at this. There's only been one occasion this entire season that a running back has had less than 20 points against Houston. So I don't know. It's a very favorable matchup for running backs. The only part, like you said, Giovanni Bernard half the time is nowhere to be found, and the Bengals don't even know what run game is. It seems like, you think they'd lean on him, like you said, but half the time I don't even know what they're doing with the run game. So I don't know. That it is a tough one, but I don't know. I'd pull the trigger.
I have a question right here. Someone wants to know, who does he start in half PPR? Pollard, Lamb, or Russell Gage?
I guess CD Lamb.
I may
CD Lamb.
I may say
playing.
I would say Russell Gage only because Julio's out, and Russell Gage will get the yards because he's going to be the opposite side of Calvin Ridley. And we proved
So I'm going to go on the outskirts and say Pollard if Zeke's back, because Pollard's now going to be relegated back to that spellback a little bit, even though he splits time, and they're going to throw the ball to Pollard. So I think Pollard's going to get a lot of yardage as well, especially if Zeke starts to shit the bed. Gage is another guy I don't like. He's another guy I had early and had promise, and then all of a sudden, even, it seems like when Julio's out, Ryan just throws the ball to Ridley 27 times instead of 15. So he gets a Cooper Cup treatment whenever Julio isn't there. So I don't know.
I think we just gave him we just gave him all different things. So
We did.
Jares,
Take
I
that
hope
information as you would.
I hope we answered your question to somewhat the fullest. I mean, I'm starting Russell Gage in my week. I'm in the championship right now. Without Devontae Parker yesterday, I'm starting Russell
Dom,
Gage.
by the way, how about that Kiki Cutie pick, my guy? I told you.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
Marquise
Oh,
Brown.
no.
Marquise
Told you, bro.
Brown. This goes
Told you,
both
bro.
ways, Colton.
Told you, bro.
This goes both ways. It's all right.
You're very lucky Kiki decided to fumble because his numbers could have went up even more. So you're lucky about that, boy. Don't forget that.
Brown.
Marquise Brown
you
has
said-
one more point.
Yeah, and Colton said, "Do not start Marquise Brown," and they ended up having the same amount of points. So I
Yeah,
think it goes
sure.
both ways.
Marquise Brown's been more inconsistent though, so I'm clearly not relying on that. I'm actually right now, going back and forth if I'm starting Kiki Cutie this week, man. I didn't have him, but I said to start him last week. Now I'm deciding if I have to start him. So
I'm actually starting both this week. So
well, if you're in the championship, God bless your soul. Your team's probably going to get shellacked if you're.
Yeah, I'm
starting
getting
this week.
shellacked because Alvin Kamara decided, let's drop 58 points in the championship week, the most of all time. He's up
Listen.
there with Jamal Charles, week 13, 2013 against Oakland, where he had 5 touchdowns and 200 total yards. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to do right now. I'm contemplating my lineup because I'm probably gonna lose.
I'm losing too. I'm only projected 307. I have Le'Veon Bell and Young Wei Koo to play, so
I have what's his name starting Ty, but I don't love Ty starting. I get Ty's been hot. The past few weeks. He's going up against a pretty solid Steelers secondary. With both tackles out, could not be a good situation in the passing game where Kiki Cutie is playing Cincinnati. So I'm out here comprehending, going back and forth on my head here what to do.
Chad Hansen.
Yeah, I was also
Houston.
there, but I'd rather Kiki Cuties gets more targets. So there's that. Right? Do I start Kiki over Ty? Right? Do I do that, or is that like too stupid? Like,
I don't think that's too stupid.
I don't think it's a bad idea. It's against Cincinnati. Like,
yeah, that's
I
what
don't
I'm thinking. It's Cincinnati. Like this could easily be. I'm gonna just go.
This
and throw
might be
the ball
honest.
a
This
bazillion
could be
times.
like a really high scoring game this week. To be honest, I
don't
think
know
it
about
could.
That. No, I don't know about that. Could be because Houston's defense is awful, but Ryan Finley struck that lightning in the bottle once, and yeah, don't see it happening again, Coach.
And well, who are we gonna be sitting this week? I mean, because this is just. Well, who did I sit? Because in my championship week I have sat what? Well, I'm sitting CD because I don't trust Andy Dalton really at all. Even though the Eagles do have a terrible secondary.
You got to sit Baker.
Also, Mike Davis, I'm sitting him as well because I don't see the value in Mike Davis right now because he's not really producing, and Washington has a very good defense.
Yeah, honestly, any of these Carolina players, I'm not happy with. I'm not going to start any of the receivers. Teddy B, maybe not. I mean, probably not. Well, I'm not personally, but yeah, I don't like any of these Carolina players against Washington's defense.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm anyone, I know Buffalo's clicking, and I know Zach Moss has been a hot topic of guy, but I would sit Zach Moss for Singletary this week. I think Singletary's gonna have a bigger week, and honestly, I wouldn't start either Singletary or Moss because Josh Allen is the top running back there. I'm mixing up my Allens, but he's the top running back there. So if you have any inkling of starting any Buffalo running back, just don't do it.
I like that.
And Colton, you're out of your mind I know Hurts is a hot pick. God, I don't know why you'd ever sit Josh Allen. Josh Allen is their red zone threat. He's their open field threat, and he throws the ball. I'm sorry. I like him better than Hurts, and you have both.
But he's not playing Denver again. He's playing New England. New England knows how to, slow down Josh Allen a lot better than what Denver would.
Only thing that's making me also, I agree with you, Will. Only thing that's making me possibly go back to Josh Allen is there's no Gilmore this time. So,
yeah,
J.C. Jackson,
true.
snub.
That's true.
Get out of here, bro.
Snubbed. 8 interceptions.
No.
How can you tell me you don't make the Pro Bowl for that?
Oh my gosh.
Darrelle Revis should have won Defensive Player of the Year over Charles Woodson in 2009 because Revis did way better than Woodson that year.
Guess what? Go blue, Will. Even though we are owned, but go blue, Will. But yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing that's making me decide to go back to Josh Allen here is that there is no Gilmore on the other side. But his worst game was literally against the Patriots, and it wasn't close. It was really, really bad against the Patriots.
Yeah, but he's a lot better now than he was the last time he played the Patriots. His decision making is
He's been an MVP
better.
candidate all season. Then you had that little 2-week spud, and now here he is again. He's like, all right, Josh Allen's back in the conversation. He's been there all season. He's been very good.
Yeah.
His worst game was against freaking New England. Guess who he's playing championship weekend for me? New England. And guess what? Jalen Hurts has been on fire. The guy's running. He's throwing very well. And he's playing Dallas's awful defense. Why am I not considering starting Jalen Hurts?
Because he's due to have a bad game.
Yeah. We say this every week. He's starting. Crap. He's going to suck this week. He's playing the Saints. He's going to suck against the Saints, right? Guy puts up freaking like 30-something points. I'm not
listen,
doing
you're probably getting 40 points from either guy this week, so I don't think you have a bad option. I just think Allen is safer. Personally, even though he had a bad game, you think he's just a better player at this point.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm going matchup-wise, and I'm going to fall on my sword with the matchup. Josh Allen goes nuts, and Jalen Hurts does crap. That's on me. I'm playing the matchup. That's the trick of the trade, Coach. And, yeah, Colton's probably losing the championship either way you slice it, but that's what we're banking on, baby.
Let me ask you guys a question. So, Buffalo against New England, right? Gilmore out. What do you do with Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs?
Well,
what do you think happens?
They start every week at this rate. How productive they've been. They're both starts.
Last time they played New England, Cole Beasley only had like 4 points. So
Again, no Gilmore. I think it's a
that's
start.
right. That's what I'm thinking too. All right.
I'm definitely a start on Diggs because I think he's been the top receiver in terms of his production this year in the NFL. You can see it with his receptions. He's been fantastic. He's right up there.
Oh yeah.
Cole Beasley scares me because he's a guy that does fade away, especially if they end up having a pretty good game. If they get down or it's a grind against the Patriots, Cole Beasley's going to come up big. But if the Bills find a way to get a big lead, Cole Beasley's out of the game plan at that point because he's really their third down, their kind of mojo getter type of receiver. So I don't know. Cole Beasley scares me. If you need to start, if you have like no other option, he's not a bad start. Diggs is a start every week. Diggs is just been a fantastic player all year.
And let's go into the locked and upset picks. What are you guys locking as the guaranteed win of this week? I like this discussion.
My lock, man, really is no locks.
I don't know about that. I would say Kansas City's a complete lock.
All right, well, again, I'm not.
But that's an
Kansas
obvious
City's a
one.
lock. Kansas City's
Every
a
week.
lock every week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
To
lock.
be honest, you never know, man. Atlanta could figure it
you're
out.
right.
And, could go off points wise here, but for me, my lock has to be the Ravens.
Yep. That would have been
Ravens
my
are a
second.
lock.
I agree.
Ravens are a lock. They're really hot at the right time. Giants are banged up and they're spiraling and yeah. It's
And the
not good
thing
for
about
G,
that,
man.
the thing about that too is the Ravens need this win. They're fighting. I mean, the Giants are the Giants. It is what it is, you know. But the Ravens are fighting for this playoff spot, and they don't have it, and they need this win. I think it's just an easy one, like you said.
My upset is the Titans. Again, close matchup, so you really couldn't say it's an upset. But when you got Green Bay -3, I'm taking the upset of the Titans. I think they're going to run all over them in a freezing cold Lambeau. Another upset that could be on the watch for me also is the Jets. I don't think they get it done because I do think the run game's going to just destroy the Jets today. But the amount of offensive weapons that are not there other than the running backs is very questionable for Baker, who's honestly has gotten it together the past few weeks, but the fact that he has no receivers is a problem. I'm starting Kareem Hunt, banking on the fact that they're going to line him up, get him some catches. I'm praying I need that kind of help, but I think the Jets could be an also upset.
See, my lock is the Jets because this is a very Jets-like thing to do.
The Jets
win
already did the
another
Jets,
game,
Alex.
But they're going to
Alex,
do it
they already
again.
won the game. They didn't need to win.
They're going to win again this week, and then they're going to beat Belichick next week, and they're going to have to go and draft another defensive tackle because there's going to be no other good quarterbacks available.
Well, Alex, this is
Jack
Alex.
See,
Alex.
Will, I know where you're going. Will, I know where you're going. I'm going to say the first part of it. You could finish it because I already know where you're going. The Jets locked it up already. With them winning, they have the tie. They locked the 2-pick or 1-pick. It's over.
But I think if they win the next 2, they could still drop
It's
the 3 out there.
over.
The Bengals
They
tie
will
messed it
literally
all
have
up.
3 wins, Alex. God, you all say I'm stupid. Alex, they have a tie, and the Bengals have 3 wins. It's a lock. Holy crap, Will, please save me.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say.
I just had to cut you off.
This
Will.
this is what Colton and I said last week. The Jets already have locked in the 2-pick with the win. I mean, there's no way because the Bengals own the tie. They already have 3 wins there, so there's no way the Jets could go draft any higher than 2. There's already reports that Darnold's going to be staying in New York because if they have the 2-pick, there's no point in trying to draft a quarterback if you can't get Lawrence. Trade back the pick, get as many picks as you can, and just build. My lock this week, I'm going to lock in the Los Angeles Chargers. I think Herbert ends the season. He breaks the rookie to passing touchdown mark, which, he could have did last week in Las Vegas. He locks it up this week. Breaks Baker Mayfield's record. And my upset, Duval, baby. Jacksonville, upset here. I mean, if they, decide that, hey, let's play Gardner Minshew with his dreads, they would have won by 1 million. But, James Robinson, on rest and now injured ankle is not going to be playing. Very Jacksonville like to be tanking like this.
They're tanking properly. They're tanking properly. The Jets couldn't tank properly. They couldn't call down Darnold. We'll give you an extra 2 G's, my man. Say you hurt your groin and put the next kid in. Buddy, I'll put you on the practice squad next year. Do what you got to do. You know what to do. You know what the job is here. You see Jalen Ramsey? Make him look like a freaking all-pro that he is, all right? Throw him a ball. No, they didn't. They can't tank right. They're screwed. Good job to the Jets. You messed up getting the guy. Jacksonville's like, wow, we didn't think we were going to get this opportunity, but hey, we do now, and we know what to do with it. Oh, my Lord.
And I want to say that's it for everything. I mean, Dom, did you put in your upset pick?
I mean, I'm not gonna pick it, but I'm gonna say there's always potential in these situations. New England winning against Buffalo, it's just always there. It's always there. I don't care how good Buffalo is. We see it every year. It's just always there. It's like when New England plays Miami, Miami usually just gets that home win for no reason. But the last time they played, it was a real close game, and New England actually had it in the bag. But Cam Newton with his fumbling. So I don't know. It's possible. It's always possible in this division. So I don't know. That could go either way.
And
I want to say Buffalo wins it. I really do. I'm not going to say that New England's going to win it, but there's always that potential.
yes, Alex.
My legitimate upset might be the Giants, actually, to be quite honest. The Giants coming in, winning, taking care of business, and really murkying up the NFC East just because why not?
I mean,
Why
it
not?
would be an NFC East thing because you had the Giants upset whoever they upset a few weeks ago, and the football team upsetting the Steelers in that bizarre weekend for the NFC East. I don't think it happens though. I do think the Ravens are hot. They got it going.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, though, has the ability to fumble the ball 6 times or throw for 4 touchdowns and be perfect and look like Josh Allen light. So I think that we might get that this week, and New York is then going to start thinking Daniel Jones is a competent quarterback again for whatever reason.
For whatever reason. It's a good way to put it.
And I want to say this rounds up the show. I mean, I'll leave everyone to talk about what they got plans for all their shows coming up and all that kind of good stuff. So whoever wants to take the floor, I'll let you guys have the floor.
Go ahead, Dom.
Well, on hockey, on between the benches, it's actually starting to get
Germany
serious
sucks.
again. Yeah, we're watching the juniors tournaments happening right now, and it's kind of a big deal that hockey is back in some kind of sense. And then in 2 weeks, yeah, the NHL season starts. So we're really cracking down on previewing the season. I mean, there's still free agents that need to be signed. There's still players that need to be signed. I mean, this is all going to happen so quick. So we're going to be there every step of the way. And yeah, we're starting right in on the season now. So it's good times.
Now, let me jump in because I have to jump out of this quickly. I apologize. Everyone, Sports Opinions Podcast. I just had on Bob Rathbun, voice of the Atlanta Hawks. Definitely go on and give that a listen. He does the TV side next to Dominique Wilkins. And about this upcoming week, I'm having a former coach of mine come on. That's going to be a good show. And we're going back and rolling with Sports Opinions Podcast every other week instead of every week. But I don't know if Will or Colton talked about the giveaway earlier. We just had a holiday giveaway. We're going to announce the winner shortly. It's a jersey of your choice, so that's fun. We're going to be doing more of that and continuing to support the Opinions Podcast Network. I'm sorry about my unprofessional look here, but got to get done with all the Christmas crap, cutting up the boxes. But definitely everyone to continue to support the Opinions Podcast Network. We put out great content, and all the friends of the Opinion Podcast Network like Dom over there. And everyone just support each other. It's all fun in what we do here, and we're all pretty damn good at it. So thanks, everybody.
And for me, I got a lock date with Lee Steinberg. If anyone who doesn't know Lee, he's one of the best NFL agents in the business. Patrick Mahomes' agent, Tua Tagovailoa's agent, many more Hall of Famers along the lines with Lee. So I'm having him on. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. That's in 2 weeks, I think, right? Yeah, yep, 2 weeks. So be on the lookout for that show. But pretty pumped up to have Lee on and hit the amazing questions about why Mahomes got that mega contract when he could have just took every dime that he wanted every 5 years from Kansas City. So be on the lookout for that great show. If you have any questions that you would like me to ask Lee, shoot me a message.
And that rounds out our show. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Let's have a fantastic Week 16 Fantasy Championship season. Well, let me also say this. So, Josh also said Talk Show U is having a new guest after this Christmas break, talking all things playoff and bowl games.